I'm not gonna lie. This is probably one of the hardest fucking things. One of the hardest topics to speak on. Last time I didn't speak on something um, and could not speak. I was in a depression. So, what I'm trying to do through this is not go into a depression, and I don't plan on it. So, first of all, we made a video. Well, I made a video several weeks back, and I told y'all that I went to see. Oh, this shit hard. Ooh. That I went to see my grandma. And wasn't my favorite, wasn't one of the best things in the world to do, boy, because when you got a loved one struggling like that, you naturally want to help them. You know what I'm saying? And there's some illnesses out here that you will never be able to help your loved one with. And it sucks because you have to either suffer with that, for the rest of your life, grieve for the rest of your life, deal with it for the rest of your life, because it's a difference in all of those, that I just said. It's a huge difference. And January 21st, my grandma was called home. I don't want to talk about the bad things, Honestly, this video is for me. To be quite honest with you, it's not for anyone. It's for me, my grandma, and God. You know what I'm saying? So, if y'all want to stay and listen, that's cool. But I've learned with having this platform, it's easier to just let the shit out. I'm sitting here, it's a lot on my mind. Funeral coming up Saturday. Today's Thursday, going on Friday. And I gotta go face that, One of the hardest things I feel like I've ever done in my fucking life. I never had a grandparent pass that I knew of, that raised me. So, I just want to embrace the good times that I had with my grandma, and every time somebody passed, I always give my respects, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like, I don't even feel like she absolutely deserves, all her flowers. And you should give people their flowers while they're here. And not that I didn't, My grandma got all her flowers. My grandma was the boss of the family, you know what I'm saying? God, she was... I've seen her go through so many stages of life and just push through it all. You know, my grandma, one of the first things that I dealt with her, not so much, but enough, was breast cancer. That was one, you know. And I don't know when she found out. I was younger, so real young. I didn't know when she found out or anything like that, but I had to go to the hospital because she had to get, I think it's a mastectomy. She had to get one of her boobs taken off, you know. And I remember she was talking kind of crazy because she was on the silly gas or whatever. And, you know, you can just tell she was like, is it gone? You know, like, yeah, good. You know, my grandma was, man, she was one of the strongest women I've ever met in my damn life. I'll never forget, I was like 22, 23, some shit like that. I got these shades on because y'all, A, I paid $400 for them. B, bitch, I'm crying. I don't even, let me be. I wanted them, I got them, here they are. She, I heard her in the hallway because I stayed with her for a little while when I became an adult. You know, I had a lot of shit going on with the gay thing or whatever. But we're going to get into that too. She was walking through the hall and I heard her like, you know, you can hear when something's wrong, really. And I'm like, Grandma, you good? She said she was doing this and holding her arm or whatever. Yeah, I'm good. You gonna go to work? Because I was supposed to go to work. And I was like, no, you're not. I'm not going to work. And in the fire, you know, she ended up, it ended up being obvious that something was absolutely wrong with her. So I didn't know what the fuck it was. Had no idea. Didn't call anybody. I just wanted her to get some help. So my first thought was to take her to the emergency room, you know. And took her to the emergency room, told them to hurry the fuck up. Child, they took their sweet ass time. And she was actually having a heart attack. And ended up passing that day, you know, on the table or whatever. But they were able to resuscitate her. And so much happened that day. But basically, they ended up putting a pacemaker on her heart. And she absolutely survived. And I just couldn't believe that she was sitting there having a heart attack, having a conversation with me, telling me to leave. Like, go to work. Fuck that job. That's why I'm truly the queen of fuck that job for so many reasons, y'all. That was number 2. That was just like crazy. Number 3, she had her whole right kneecap was off. Her whole right kneecap. It seemed like I've been worrying about my grandma since that heart attack. You know, that was probably I want to say like 10 years ago. Maybe I want to go. I feel like I was younger. I feel like I was 18 or 19, not sure, but in the gray area. We're going to go I feel like it was 10, 15 years ago. I have been worried about her since that day. Her whole kneecap was off. How? I don't fucking know. But child, my grandma's kneecap was off. It was turned to the side. What she want to do? Walk. Drive. Go to church. Church was my grandma's favorite thing to do. She wanted to go to church. Okay. Because you wasn't going to stop her. Grandma, why you want to sit down? I sit down when I'm dead. I sit down when I go to glory. You know. I ain't sitting down. I ain't sitting down till the Lord tell me to sit down. You know. Fuck. This shit is hard. I gotta do it. Oh my God. So that was the third thing. That fourth thing was that damn dementia. When it first started, she was hearing things. She was hearing things and she was seeing things. Like hearing water in the walls, seeing people in the trees, seeing people in the house. And not bad people, thank God. It was never bad people. But she was still afraid because it was people, you know, in her house. And she was 75. Maybe 76. And she she heard, she had people in the house and she wanted to get out of the house and get away from them. So she got in the car. She had a gun, shotgun cop. And she was driving, you know, and the police ended up either stopping her or something happened, you know. And that was the day we found out that, you know, this is way more serious than nothing. Some people don't even know that their parents or their grandparents have dementia until it gets really bad. Because some of them real good with it. And I know that may sound crazy, but it's the truth. But before I started YouTube, well, right when I started YouTube, she had to start staying with my dad, and she was like, you know, I want an apartment, a 1-bedroom apartment that the elderly, you know, people have. They have apartment complexes for elderly people. She used to watch a lady who had one of those apartments, a lady that was older than her. My grandma was a hustler. She watched the older people, watched kids, you know. I don't know how the hell she got these jobs ever. But she got these jobs, man. And she was watching people. And one of the older ladies that she was watching, she had an apartment, you know. And she said, I want one of those. And when I started YouTube and I didn't understand dementia, you are absolutely not educated on it unless you go into school or one of your people got to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? And I was thinking, like, you know, legally with YouTube, I'm going to get you that 1-bedroom apartment. You know, every time I seen it, she said, hey, girl, who you? And I thought it was a joke for a while. Wasn't a joke. She really didn't know who I was. I had to remind her in the beginning. Sneaker. Oh, where you been? You know, working. Got a job? No. I'm working for myself. Oh, yeah? Yeah. Good for you. You know. She asked for a while, like a year and a half. Can I get an apartment? Yeah. Because I was. I started YouTube because I knew that was my personality. I knew that I would be able to do it. I was inspired by others. But what made me go the hardest was my grandma. I wanted to get her an apartment, you know. I think it was like $600 a month or something like that. Fuck it. I'm going to get it for you, you know. I could pay for that apartment today. But anyway, that was my intention. But after that, you could tell, you know, the downward spiral started to not speed up, but obviously it started to take over a little more. So after a while, unless you with them every day, you can't really, you got to keep reminding, even when you with them every day, you got to keep reminding. Sometimes they absolutely forget who you are, forget where they are. Dementia's an ugly thing, man. My grandma was taking a lot of medication because her heart, you know, she was on a pacemaker. But when you got a pacemaker, you got to take other medications to make sure your heart, the pacemaker's working. You know what I'm saying? And my grandma probably was taking 12 pills a day, maybe way more than that, honestly. And them pills will fry your brain, you know. But you never really know the cause of it. It just happens. So about 3 years ago, I was just starting to get really worried because I'm like, damn. Mind you, matter of fact, before this even happened, you know, my grandma did not like the gay thing, right? And I like to call it the gay thing because there's no other way I could put it. She didn't like it. And that's okay, you know. I know I'm unapologetically me, you know. It comes with growth, it comes with experience, it comes with time. But after trying to be something that you're not, after testing and trying to convince, and this is me, Right before that, when a older person, especially in my time, they stand on what the fuck they feel. They still do, And it's hard for you to mend a relationship with one believing something and the other person believing something. I've always been that middle child, that daredevil, that person who just did not give a fuck about what other people think. I'm going to forever do me. But I got it from her, My grandma was unapologetic. I'm going to live how I want to. I'm going to do what I want to. No matter what any of y'all say. No matter what any of y'all think. I don't care if it hurts your feelings. I don't care what the case may be. I got it from her, But I'm saying that to say it sucks because with time and with decisions, you lose out time with a person. You lose time with the ones you love, Y'all, I've always been a type, no matter what. If you ask me for anything, and I love you, you can get it. My grandma would come to the grocery store on my ass. I was working at the grocery store. She came and got some things. Say, you got $20? Yep. This was around the time she just wasn't feeling the gay thing, and that's okay. She didn't understand it, I didn't know how to explain it. Sometimes it ain't no explaining it. I'm me, But I still found a way to give her whatever and do whatever for her. And that's why I have peace today. I always hold up my end of the deal. Whoever, wherever, however, I'm going to hold up my end of the deal. Because I like to sleep good at night, Whatever she needed, I was going to get it. I did get it. But it takes time. It takes time away. Especially when you're dealing with something new. You don't even know what you got going on, That gay shit with the gay shit, whatever. Especially if you young, man, and you dealing with that same thing. Find a way to love the person who don't understand you. Now, don't overstep your boundaries, and don't ever over extend your hand or the explanation of who you are. There's no need for that, friend. You are who you are, and you're going to forever be that. But make sure you tell them, I love you, You may not like me, but I love you, You may not accept me. I'm not asking you to. I love you. I could be mad at everybody, but couldn't be mad at that damn grandma. But I had to learn to create my own distance for my mental health. I had to learn to create I had to learn to keep me, you know, keep me together, even though I was alone, you know what I'm saying, with that. But it's important in the story because no matter what, no matter how she felt, she wasn't going to stop me from loving her, you know. And I know she loved me. She just wanted me to be girly with it. But my resilience, my confidence, my passion, my hard work ethic, my everything comes from her. And I appreciate her for that. My grandma lived to be 85. And y'all, that's a blessing, you know. I was so afraid of her having to deal with this shit in life, man. The shit that's going on today. These disrespectful ass kids, these teenagers who fucking with old people. Oh my God. I was so afraid of that. And you know, man, God was really on my grandma's side in a lot of situations. It'd be times where, you know, my mama, you know, my dad would call us like, you seen your grandma? I'm talking about, I don't give a damn what I'm doing. I'm young, early 20s, probably drunk as hell somewhere. Hello? See your grandma? Where she at? I'm at the door. I'm in the car. I left the club. I left the mall. I left the restaurant. I left wherever to go find her motherfucking ass. Because, boy, I never, ever, ever wanted one of them stories. Never. Never, never, never. You know. Dropped everything we had. And the reason why she wanted to live on her own, they get very angry when they can't do the things they want to do. You know what I'm saying? Just so crazy how you go from a baby to a young adult to adult to a elderly person back to a baby. Shit is crazy how life works. But you a baby all over again. And then you start getting rules again. Like, you can't do that. I gotta watch you. You gotta stay here. You can't do that. You know, she hated that shit. So, she wanted to do what she wanted to do. But boy, I'm telling you, it would have been hell and high water. You know, if it was written any other way. But then we never had one of those stories. It was always a good Samaritan that bring her back home, you know, or call. Somehow she always, it's so crazy how sometimes she remembered a number or she'd go to the same place so they knew who to call again. You know what I'm saying? It's just so crazy how God always made sure we got her to safety, you know. So, Saturday she will be put to rest. And it's a blessing that she don't have to be in this fucked up place anymore, man. This place ain't a place for the elderly. And it ain't a place for children either, I feel like. But unfortunately, these are the cards we dealt. I want to thank my grandma for raising me. She never allowed me to be soft. She never allowed me to have excuses. She always keep you on your toes. And she never gave up on shit. And I'm the exact same way. So I'm glad that TT sleep. I'm not glad that she sleep. She sleep. But I'm glad that we went through what we went through right before this happened. It's so crazy. We was going through it because it was about to happen, y'all. And I feel like God was trying to prepare us for it and get her some type of healing with what she had been dealing with for so long. Because now it was time for her to help me, to help a person that she loved, right? Relationships have stages, you know what I'm saying? And in these stages, like in the beginning, it's peaches and cream, you know what I'm saying? For the most part, if you got a good partner, it's peaches and cream, you know what I'm saying? Meet a person, y'all vibe, love on one another, everything is just good, you know? Then you start dealing with, let's just say the romance is good. Then when you decide to come together on things, you know, you start dealing with finance. And honestly, y'all, you could be rich, you could be poor. You can both have it together, kind of have it together, whatever. Finances can always be a thing. It doesn't have to always be an issue, but they can always be a thing. I have to say, since I've met her, we haven't been broke. You know what I'm saying? Like at all. We had one moment where it wasn't so good, but it wasn't so bad. Ever since we met each other, we have uplifted each other, and we've gone to another level each time. But I hate plateaus, and it's like when something is going on, when something don't feel right, I feel it. I can't explain it, but I feel it, you know. And once again, I was able to help her with what it was she was dealing with. Whether we had to talk about it, you know, whether we had to tell y'all about it. The judgment came, you know, so much happened, but we overcame it all. And we so much better today. Thank God. And she's been a great help mentally for me. A great help. So I'm glad God prepared us for this time. absolutely prepare her for this time as well. And thank God, you know, she's there for me, y'all. I don't feel alone. Because a lot of y'all been asking me how am I feeling. I don't feel alone. I'm not sad. My grandma lived a great life. She did everything she wanted to do. That's great in my book. She lived for a very long time. Very long time. And she ain't suffering no more, y'all. That's what I'm happy about. But TT hold my hand every step of the way. Making sure I'm good every step of the way. And right beside me every step of the way. And Lord knows I appreciate that. I'm actually happy I have a family in this moment. Can you imagine? I can't even ask y'all, can y'all imagine? Because some of y'all have gone through a lot of shit alone. You know. So, some of y'all have been alone, you know, in a time like this. But I gotta say, I'm glad I'm not alone. Still got some kids to make me laugh and get on my damn nerves. And I got a woman that's here for my every beck and call, you know. So, y'all, I'm good. My dad was the one I was worried like hell about at first. I didn't know how he was going to be able to handle it, but he holding it down like a G. So y'all, in the midst of me doing my video, Honey Sauce woke up. But what I was saying was, I appreciate you for being there for a nigga. You know what I'm saying? I told him in the beginning of this, I said that we had to go through what we had to go through to prepare us for this.
This moment. Definitely. It was definitely a test for me. Because, you know, in my past, I had to go through something like this, and they told me I didn't show up. So, I knew I was going to be tested in some way, and here it is. So, I didn't know how I was going to do that. And thank God we went through what we went through, because if I wouldn't have dealt with the death of my father, I wouldn't have been able to do that at all. So, yeah. So, you're welcome. And thank you for still sticking it out for me.
You feel more confident now in that area?
Definitely. I deal with it when I want to deal with it. And it's easier.
Okay.
I said that without crying.
Right, yeah. Well, mine is fresh, but I don't sit here and cry.
You know?
But I've been rather strong this entire situation.
Yes, you have. Definitely.
So. But yeah, it wasn't gonna be long. I just wanted you to, you know, give your input on that and let you know I appreciate you. And, you know, I'm glad that we stayed together, because, child, how can you do this alone?
You can't.
Some people are.
Yeah, I was at one point. So, thank you. See, once again.
It's a lot. But, yeah.
We got this.
We do. Tomorrow we going, you know, we got to prepare for this. And I'm going to be all right. You know what I'm saying? We're going to thug this thing out. And, you know, after this, it is definitely time to. We got a lot of things planned for y'all, so just be prepared. But that's all I got. I talked to them for almost 40 minutes.
Okay.
Before that, so I just wanted, your input, and
Well, cool.
that's it. Well, love y'all. Appreciate y'all. See y'all later.